There's 20% off of something I'm prohibited from talking about here on YouTube through October 31st. And you're going to want to take a look at that. If you want to know what it is, sign up to my private email list and confirm, and I'll send you an email about it tonight.
There's much we can do to bring our nation together. For example, those engaged in the political arena must stop treating political opponents as being morally defective.
All politicians are responsible for toning down the rhetoric where possible.
This is very, very destructive to democracy, but we need to start to tone this stuff down. Rein it in.
We all need to tone it down.
Stop treating political opponents as being morally defective.
Perhaps it's better if we all dial back the heat on the left and the right.
These are just a few of many examples of CNN and Trump telling us that everybody needs to tone down the political rhetoric in the wake of mainstream media trying to capitalize on this absolutely ridiculously staged, freshly outfitted meme van supposedly belonging to a guy named Caesar Psyoc. And of course, the implication here is not that an alleged lunatic is responsible for his own actions, but that somehow we're all responsible for his actions. That somehow we not only played a part in shaping the mind of a future pipe bomber, but also the alleged synagogue shooter as well. The media is trying to make you and I feel guilty for putting out memes, sharing memes, or even reading memes, many of which do nothing more than speak the succinct, stone-cold truth. And these memes are a big part of exposing the fakery of mainstream media, and they don't much care for that. Like all state-funded media-owned propaganda, the battle essentially is not so much against the free flow of information as it is against the people who freely spread that information. Censorship is not just the burning of books or the stifling of information, but the authoritarian quelling of the thoughts of individuals. It's like the policy against drugs. You can call it a war on drugs all you want, but the real world results of this so-called war is an individual sitting in a rape cage behind bars simply because he had drugs in his possession. And that's what we're seeing with the Caesar Psyoc and the synagogue shooting thing. Let's call this what it is. It's not overselling or overstating it to say that this is the government conspiring with the media to control the thoughts and actions of individuals on the internet and in their daily lives. If you question that assertion, and you should, take a look at my last two videos. If you want to put a sticker on your car advertising the fact that Maxine Waters is a psychopathic political parasite who's foisting a socialist agenda on the people in her state, you're free to do so without being profiled by the so-called authorities who view you as a suspicious and potential future criminal. And that's what they're doing, guys. That's how they're setting this up. CNN and the rest of mainstream media are influencing the masses to believe that if you see a sticker or a shirt or a website from people exposing charlatans like Michael Moore or Hillary Clinton or government-controlled news outlets like CNN, they're lunatics. They're taking this Caesar Psyoc dude and projecting his ideologies, some of which are correct like the CNN sucks statement, on anyone who would make the same or similar statements. What you're about to see is not an Onion News Network spoof broadcast. This is actually CNN being serious. But first, the primer from former FBI Director James Clapper, who wants you to believe that the pipe bombs were not hoaxes.
These devices were not hoaxes.
Yeah, right, Clapper. Good try. Now the Clown News Network being serious about the staged vanifesto of their fake stream frontman, Caesar Psyoc.
We're back with this breaking news story and a major piece of evidence in the case against the suspect charged today.
Gee, I wonder what major piece of evidence this could be.
This van.
This van is a major piece of evidence, folks. It couldn't possibly be staged. You'll just have to take CNN's word for it that this is all legit. Nothing made up here to weave a crafty narrative or anything.
Where we now know Caesar Psyoc was living. It was adorned with stickers and posters supporting President Trump and Vice President Pence and Democratic opponents with targets over their faces. CNN's Tom Foreman is at the magic wall.
Tom Foreman's magic wall, huh? That's fitting since they're about to construct a fantastic fable for non-critically thinking viewers.
And Tom, the van's quite conspicuous, and it might actually be important when it comes to the law enforcement investigation as to motive.
Might actually be important? You just said it's a major piece of evidence. How did it go from major piece of evidence to might actually be important in less than 15 seconds? Well, you gotta understand that's why Tom's over at the magic wall. Because you can have it both ways in the magical kingdom of fake news.
Yeah, and it certainly attracted the attention of people who may not have noticed him on social media, but right down the road you could see them anytime you went by. And some people were so interested in this, they actually stopped and took photographs of it and put it online saying, look at this, I've seen this truck here.
Of course it attracted interest. How often is it that you see a ridiculously obvious van slapped with more stickers than politicians tell lies? Could they have produced anything more staged? It's like some producer said, let's see how glaringly fake we can make this all look, guys.
Let's look at this front window and some of the details of that window.
Yeah, let's take a close look at this. Look guys, if you're older than 18 and you're still putting stickers on your car, especially stickers supporting some political candidate who's gonna serve as your new ruler, you're silently yelling at everybody around you, "Hey everybody, look at me! I want this person to rule me and take my stuff, and I want him to rule you and take your stuff too."
Let's look at this front window and some of the details of that window. If you see it here, you can see that the top is basically support for Mike Pence and Donald Trump, that whole team there. The second line, sort of inexplicably, is mainly about sports, although there's some reference to Trump in there, but it has to do with a boxing match and that sort of thing. But then when you get to the bottom part here, Jake, that's when you start getting into the really sort of nasty stuff. This corner down here, that's where you see the crosshairs on Hillary Clinton, on a picture of Barack Obama on a tricycle, on the filmmaker Michael Moore, on Jill Stein from the Green Party.
There's not one person on this graphic that's not at least a criminal or a liar. Not one, including Jill Stein from the Green Party. They're all authoritarians who believe that certain people have special rights and that they have a higher claim over your life and property than you. They believe there should be a ruler making commands for you to obey and taking your stuff. And they do this all under the banner of morality. And this is the way society should be constructed. And society couldn't possibly live without government.
From our own Van Jones here about CNN. And
come on, don't gloss over that, Tom. Just say it. CNN sucks and you know it. It's a demonstrable fact.
Other images that have a very sharp sense that these people somehow need to be targeted in some manner. And then...
Yeah, targeted in some manner. Not physically harmed, but exposed. Not only that, given CNN's history, it's a very, very good possibility that this sticker was created and funded by the owners of CNN themselves as part of a psychological operation to get people on board with their agenda. They've done it many, many times before, so how could we trust them not to do it again and again? This is their bread and butter.
Beyond that, if you go to the other image in this other window down here, you can see, again, a whole amalgam of things. Support for the president up here, then some motions over here about abortion rights. The Seminole tribe is mentioned numerous times by this man, and then there are religious references, support for the military, and then down here, again, general support for America and a series of country music singers there.
Okay, why did he even point any of that out? What is this major evidence of from CNN's perspective? CNN supports presidents. CNN weighs in on abortion issues. CNN references religions all the time. CNN supports the military. CNN broadcasts performers. What exactly is your point here, Tom? Or are you just trying to fill your time slot with nonsense?
It's very interesting to look at this, Jake, because clearly, even if you look in the van windshield, you can see this tremendous amount of clutter up here. This was the sort of thing that was drawing attention of passers-by even before all of this began, enough that some of them, the moment they saw it, said, yeah, I've seen that vehicle. Jake?
Again, Tom, what the hell is your point? Who cares about clutter in a personal vehicle? Who cares if this van attracted attention? Notice the desperation to cover this story? It's like a 3-year-old discovering mundane things and excitedly reporting to his parents, "Look, Mommy, a fly. Did you see that cloud? Oh, look, I can make all these colors with these crayons. Good job, little Tommy. You can draw on the big magic screen and play show and tell with your dwindling audience. You're a good boy. Now run along, go play with your Play-Doh, and we'll see you in the next segment. Okay, little Jakey Tapper, I'll be over at your house later tonight to drink some more Kool-Aid with ya. Bye."
Tom Foreman, thanks so much.
Guys, this is just a small sampling of why CNN is the most trusted name in fake news. The Clown News Network, the Communist News Network, Conspiracy News Network, all these monikers are fitting because it's the objective truth. This isn't news. This is daytime soap opera-oriented programming for those who are still connected to the morphine drip of the mainstream media government-controlled propaganda machine. If you guys want to support my work here on this channel, the Patreon and PayPal links are below. Before they eliminate all of us, don't forget to join my private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. Also, visit some of my sponsors and grab a hard-hitting, conversation-starting shirt, mug, hoodie, or hat from one of the most controversial shirt stores on the planet. They make great gifts for those who silently want to get the truth out there. I'm adding new designs every week and take design requests, so check back often. All the links are in the description and in the pinned comment. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Those engaged in the political arena must stop treating political opponents as being morally defective.
This guy's a liar.
Lying Hillary, that lion. She is a liar. Lying Ted Cruz. Crooked Hillary. She's a nasty person.
He's a nasty guy.
He's a nasty guy. Nobody likes him. Crazy Bernie. He's crazy as a bedbug.